Hello guys, in this video we'll be looking at Python chapter 2 of module 2. So the chapter 2 is all about dictionaries. So what is a dictionary? Dictionary is usually represented using a flower braces like this, and it has key value pair which is separated by a colon. So the key and value could be anything, which could be a string or a integer. For example, shop equals to, and you open the flower braces and you have the key, which suppose here in this example pen colon 10. So pen is the key and 10 is the value. So here, since it is a string, it is represented using quotes, and the same thing happens, and there could be a number of elements inside the dictionary. Now dictionaries are accessed through keys, so you can access the value of the uh, pen by using the key, that is the key here is pen. So how do you do it? You specify the dictionary name, and within the braces you specify the key, that is pen here, and it will give you back the value. Suppose you want to access something like pencil, which is a key that is not present in the dictionary here, dictionary shop, and when you try to access it you'll get a key error. So this is about accessing the values using the keys in the dictionaries. Unlike list, dictionaries are compiled to be in order. They have to be in order, but in list the order doesn't matter. So let us take an example of how the dictionaries can be implemented using a program. You have a birthdays dictionary which has the name and the birth date of each of the person here, and they're separated by commas. And while true is a forever loop, and it will enter here, and it will ask the user to enter the name or a blank to quit. So the user will input whatever name, and if the name equals to blank, that if they want to quit, then it will break, or it will come to as if name is in birthdays. So name here is used as key in the birthdays dictionary. So if the name, suppose you give it as Alice, so Alice is in birthdays, yes, it's in the Alice is in birthdays, so it will print Alice birthdays name will be here, be suppose in our example it will be Alice. So birthdays, the key value is Alice, and the value will be written, that is April 1. So April 1 is your birthday, will be printed. Else it will print as that birthday is not there in the dictionary we have specified. So then if the birthday is not present, then it will ask the user to enter the birthday, and the birthday is taken from the user, and this birthday is the name is usually specified during the first thing, and so the name will be here, and it the birthday will be inputted from the user, and that will be stored back in the dictionary. So it will print birthdays are updated. So this is about the dictionaries. Now coming to the methods in dictionary, you have three main methods in dictionary, that is keys, values and items. Suppose you have a dictionary span that has two elements, that is color, that is a key, red is a value, age is a key, and 42 is the value. For using the values method, what you do is you use a for loop for v in spam dot values. You have to use the dictionary name dot the method name, that is values, and it will run the for loop. For every value in this spam, the value will be printed. So here the value here is red and 42, so that will be printed as output. Now coming to the next method, that is keys. In keys, the same dictionary you have taken, and here you will take the variable k in spam dot keys. The keys method is used for the dictionary name spam, so spam dot keys, and will print the k. So here the key value is color and age, that will be printed. Now coming to the next method, that is the items. In items, again the same dictionary is used, and you'll use a for loop, that is for I in spam dot items. You'll use the items method with the dictionary name, that is spam dot items, and it will print I, and this will print the whole item, that is including the key value pair. So for each of the key value pair present in the dictionary. So these are about the methods that are present in the dictionary. Coming to see if you want to check if the key or value that you want to check is that exist in the dictionary. So you have a dictionary spam, and suppose you say name, that is in quotes, in spam dot keys. So spam dot keys usually has all the keys in the dictionary, so it will check if the name is also a key in the dictionary spam. So since the name is present in the dictionary spam, it will return as true. And suppose if there was something that was not there as a key in the dictionary, it would have written false. The same thing would go for values, that is Zophie in spam dot values. Since Zophie is present in the values, it will be printed as true. So this is about to check whether a key or a value exists in a dictionary. So coming to the next method we have in the dictionary, that is the get method. In the get method, what happens is you have two arguments. The first argument would be the key value, and the second argument would be a default value that is set to be as 0. What happens in get method is you specify a key value, and if the key value is present in the dictionary, it will return the value associated with that key. If the key value is not present in the dictionary, then it will return a default value which I have set, that is 0. Suppose in this example you have a dictionary dict that has been specified, and you specify the method dict.get, and will specify within the method the key, that is 1 comma 0. This is the default value you will be setting, and since 1 is present in the dictionary, you have been followed, so it will return the value associated with the key 1, that is ONE, which will be returned. Suppose dict.get 3 comma 0. Since 3 key is not present in the dict that you have followed, the default value, that is 0, will be returned as output here. Now coming to the next method, that is a set default method. So a set default method in a dictionary is used when you want to have a key value pair that is not there in the dictionary. Suppose you want to specify, you will specify, suppose you want the value of the key to be assigned. So if the key is present in the dictionary, it will assign the value that you want to set. Suppose the key is present and there is a value associated with the key already in the dictionary, it won't set with according to what you have set with the set default method. Instead, it will return the value that is actually been there with the key. So firstly, let us look at the example. You have the spam dictionary having name as the key and Puka as the value, and age as the key and 5 as the value. So you'll use the spam.set default, and you will have the key and value that will have two arguments in the set default. So that is color and black. First it will check the key if key is present in the dictionary. Since the key is not present in the dictionary you specify, that is spam, it will once you ask the program to print spam, it will print and it will be added. Since the key is not present, the key and the value pair will be added. Suppose now since the now this is the spam we'll be considering, and you'll again use spam dot set default and color comma white, that is key and value. Since firstly it will check color. Since color key is already present, since the value is already there, it can't change the value from black to white, that is through set default. Instead it will return the value that is associated with the key color, that will be black. So this is about set default method. Coming to the pretty print, pretty print is used, you will be using the you will be importing the pretty print module before using the functions of pretty print module. So it has two functions, that is pprint and pformat. So this is pretty print is usually used to give a more clearer display than the usual print function you will be using. So suppose in a dictionary it will be printed in the same line, the output. Instead you can use the pprint function to print the key value pair in the next line. Each of the key value pair will be printed in a new line. So that is about the pretty print function. Now coming to a tic-tac-toe program that is there in this chapter. This is the tic-tac board representation, that is top L, top mid, top R. Then you have this segregation between the three rows. Then you have mid L, mid M, mid R. Then you have the segregation. Then you have low L, low M, low R. So this is about the tic-tac-toe board which will be printing. So firstly you'll use the dictionary to print the tic-tac-toe board. So these top L, top M, top R will be used as keys, and the value will be set to default that has been empty. So this is about the dictionary that will be specifying the tic-tac-toe board. Then we'll specify a function that is def function to the function that is print board, and we'll pass the parameter board. So here what happens is whatever be the user sends, if it is top L, the user will tell the location. So suppose the top L location is chosen, then the top L here, the board top L will be updated, and the same goes for everything here. So this will go for all the rows in the tic-tac-toe board. So you'll have a variable called turn that will be initialized to x. Since you have in tic-tac-toe, you'll either have x or 0. So firstly you'll initialize the turn is equal to x. Then you'll run a for loop for range in I. For I in range 9. That is because you have 3 rows and each row has 3 slots. So 9 inputs should be given. So you'll call the print function the board. The board is the dictionary. So initially the board will be having the top L, top M, all those things with the value being empty. So the empty tic-tac-toe board will be printed. Then turn for, usually the turn is x, so turn for x initially. Now it will ask the user move on with space. So the move, it will ask the user to input, and that will be stored in move, and this will be used as key and in the board, and this will be the turn will be the turn. Suppose here it is x. Since move, suppose the move will be top left, so top left is since it is x here, so top left will be considered as, so this is the top left, here top left will be considered as x. So if turn equals to x, then turn will be 0. If else turn will be x, turn will be x. So it will be indicating the next turn who should play, either x or 0. Then we'll print the board again. So this will be going on until the for loop condition fails. So this will only print the tic-tac-toe board with the x and zeros, and it will not tell who is the winner. So this is about the program, and this is about the second chapter of the module 2. Thank you guys.